O'clock, we shall start the session. A very good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 278th edition of our Saturday webinar series hosted by Managed Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. Myself, Dr. Ahalya, and I'm delighted to engage with you, dynamic audience today. So before going to the session, let me give a short introduction about our center. So this flagship initiative has started in October 2020, and it has delivered 277 uninterrupted weekly webinars, driving capacity building, innovation diffusion, and entrepreneurial momentum across the India's agri sectors. And this year also marks 6 impactful years of Manasia championing agripreneurship, innovation ecosystem, and enterprise acceleration in India's agriculture. Till date, our outreach has connected with more than 50,000 participants, featuring insights from 500 domain experts, ecosystem leaders, and industry practitioners who have catalyzed transformation across agriculture value chain. So Manasia has emerged as a launchpad for agri-innovators, empowering over 1,100 entrepreneurs to convert their ideas into scalable ventures. And we are also proud to have incubated 6 startups spanning diverse agriculture sectors, also offering expert guidance and specialized training in crucial areas such as agro-processing, post-harvest technologies, value addition, farm mechanization, animal husbandry, fisheries, dairy, community trading, supply chain management, and agri-consultancy, ensuring that our entrepreneurs are equipped to tackle every challenge in their journey. In today's session, we are going to focus on a theme called Innovating Urban Agriculture, Building Smarter, Greener Cities with Vertical Farming. It is a privilege to introduce our resource persons for today's session. To begin, I would like to invite our managing intern Ishika Gautam to introduce our first speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I'm Rishika from Team Manage CIA. It is my honor to introduce the first speaker, Mr. Praveen Sharma, a renowned EdTech pioneer and global expert in sustainable vertical farming with over 35 years of international experience across India, Africa, and the Middle East. Sir is the founder of Flora Consult and Globe Florex and is widely known for his pioneer work in hydroponics, aeroponics, and his proprietary revoponics technology, recognized as one of the most energy-efficient vertical farming systems globally. He also leads the Center for Innovation and Training in Vertical Farming, focusing on smart farming, automation, and climate-resilient agriculture. In addition, Sir serves as the president of the Indian Society of Floriculture Professionals and has recently partnered with Queen's University, Canada, where his revoponics technology is being adopted for advanced research in AI and ML-enabled vertical farming. With this brief introduction of Sir, I would now like to hand over the session to him. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction, and I feel privileged to be part of this wonderful webinar where we are encouraging all the young entrepreneurs who want to get into urban agriculture. So before I start the slides, I just want to thank all of you, and yes, I will introduce you with the vertical farming especially, which is now the need of the hour. And can I share the slides now?
Yes, sir, you can share.
It's visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Great. Okay. So innovating urban agriculture, building smarter, greener cities with vertical farming. So that is the theme of today's webinar. When we talk about urban agriculture, that means we want to do some agriculture activities in urban premises, urban zones, or peri-urban areas. The biggest challenge what you have is the land. The cost of land in urban zone is huge. If you want to buy an acre of land, it will not be less than 2 CR, 3 CR, or even more, because that's an urban property. In that case, you have to devise a method of agriculture where you can generate revenues which can match that kind of capital cost which is already into it. So that's when the technology of vertical farming has been devised. And since we were engaged in this so-called soilless cultivation since last 35 years, growing roses and exporting to different parts of the world, from Africa, from India, we decided to get into this since 2012 onwards and conducting various research and try to find out the viable methodology which can make it viable for doing something in the urban zones. So these are the names which we call it. It is also called 3D farming because we are making use of the third dimension. Mostly we talk of production per acre, per hectare, or in our greenhouse cultivation, we talk of per square meter. But here we have reached to a new term called 3D farming, where we talk of production per cubic meter, so that we make use of the entire volume of the growing location. These facts are very well known to all of us, that agriculture consumes 70% of the world water, and out of that 60% is wasted because of inefficient water application methods. So we are going to fall short of water. Second is the urban population. As on today, we are almost 50-50, rural and urban, but we are going to be almost 70% in just by 2050. So very few people will remain in the rural zones to do agriculture for us. Shrinking arable land. We have almost 13 billion hectares in this planet. Out of that, 4.8 billion is allocated for agriculture. That is shrinking every given year. Long distance transports. So when you have urban population growing, the food has to be transported from long distances, and that increases emission and carbon footprints. Of course, food toxicity due to pesticide, and also this sort of urban agriculture which is being done with the sewage water, bringing a lot of challenges of heavy metals in the food. The vertical farming globally, this market is projected to be 30 billion US dollar at the CAGR of 23 to 25%. It's ever growing. Of course, we have a lot of failures because of the first generation projects wanted to just prove that it can be done. So they have done it, but the cost of doing it was too huge because of heavy capital cost, and lot of automation, robotics, AI, ML was deployed. But the main thing was missing, that was the growing, the grower's experience. So that's where, if you look at today's scene in United States, they have lost almost 8 billion US dollars in first generation vertical farms, which closed down one by one. Our firm was working simultaneously while the projects were coming in the United States. We were working in our developing world, like in Middle East, where we developed appropriate technology for vertical farming, ensuring that we don't go for high capex and use the available resources and ensure that we get the production on a regular basis. Now, a definition for vertical farming. Vertical farming, adding a new dimension to agriculture. Vertical farming is a cultivation technique that utilizes vertical space with growing area. This approach can be implemented in various settings, including open field, low tunnels, greenhouses, or warehouses. The prime goal of vertical farming is to increase yield per unit area by maximizing the number of plants, while ensuring that each plant receives consistent input such as light, ventilation, water, nutrient, carbon dioxide, and adequate growing space. So that shows that we cannot overpopulate the plants, but we have to ensure that each plant gets the optimum space and we have highest productivity from a given location. The classification can be of two types. One is the kind of canopy under which the vertical farming is done. And second is the kind of technology which is being used for doing vertical farming. So when we talk of canopy, as I mentioned, you have vertical farming can be done in open field. We can have in naturally ventilated greenhouses. We can have it in climate controlled greenhouses, or we can have TCEA, we call it totally environment controlled agriculture, that is indoor farming. Or we can have it hybrid TCA, where we enjoy the natural resources like light and ensure that we meet all the parameters and bring them under total control. So these are the basic classification. If you look at, this is our research center where this is on naturally ventilated greenhouse, very ordinary greenhouse, but extraordinary production and the quality. The greenhouse you can see on top is just made by local artisans and is made by MS pipes 5 years ago, but still it is having no issues. So it is not that you invest huge money on the structure, but you ensure that the structure is strong enough to sustain the odds of climate. At the same time, you can play around with the climate inside. So this is naturally ventilated greenhouse, one of the lowest model, and this is a typical hybrid vertical farm where this was raised by us in Dubai. It was having 2 acres, two greenhouses of 2,000 square meter each, and the daily production coming out of this was 1,000 kilo every day of lettuces. So that is the potential. 1 ton every day you can produce just from an acre. Of course, this is TCA, where you can see in hybrid, you had sunlight, which was allowed, and we supplemented the grow lights. Whereas when you go to total controls, you don't allow sunlight and you have full control over the growing, where you maintain the right light selection spectrum for growing, and you play around with that, and you have 100% control on the crop. You invest more on OPEX because you spend more on lights. The next classification is by growing technique. We have vertical stake pot system, which is quite common in our country too. Then we have nutrient film technique, which is quite popular. Then we have vertical nutrient film technique, horizontal stacked vertical growing, and then vertical aeroponics. And the last one is the vertical rivoponics. So these are the major categories of vertical farming. So these are advantage of out of all is aeroponics and rivoponics. They have an advantage. Mostly you might have seen that NFTs are being used for growing leafy greens. You don't see tomatoes being grown on NFTs. But advantage of aeroponics is you can have combination of both leafy as well as fruity crops. You can grow cherry tomato, you can grow cucumbers, you can grow capsicum, yet you can also grow all the leafy greens. Of course, the strawberry is the hottest product which is being grown, and that's where our farm is now deeply engaged in formulating and setting up large-scale strawberry farms in vertical farming. This is a typical vertical farm which is prevalent in entire North America and also in European countries, but we have found it is not the right method. Reason being, you have this horizontally stacked growing has got challenges of microclimate management in every tier. The continuous light which is falling on the plant raises the leaf temperature. It brings need for having air circulation between every tier that adds on to the energy. And the next is the base of the light is heating the NFT channel, which is just above it. So there are multiple aspects where you add on to the cost of OPEX, and that is the case in most of the American farms which are prevailing today. Of course, the new generations have changed the methodology. This is one of the farm which we have done in UAE, and what we call it in vertical farming, sky is the limit. You can grow as high as you can and make sure that you ensure that each plant gets the right parameters, which is supposed to be given to the plant. If you manage that, height is no limit. This is our first project, which is on aeroponics, which was completed in UAE. You can see that there is sunlight and there is a supplementary light in between. So while we did this, what we realized that, sorry, I had to just show you something in between. What you see that light is in between. So the plants which are inside, they are getting artificial grow light, and plants which are on the outwards, they are getting sunlight. So there was a partiality with the plants. So those which are inside were always having complaints. So that's where we decided to go with the technique called rivoponics, where the entire system rotates. So each plant gets equal opportunity. No one has got complaint, and there is a homogeneous microclimate, homogeneous light, and the plants grow very uniformly from top to bottom. So this is a typical strawberry farm, which also we did in UAE. These are free from any pesticides, fungicides. As you all know, that strawberries grown outdoors, you need tremendous amount of pesticides to control the insects which love the strawberries. And it is not the case in India, but even in California, Texas, or any other growing region, they cannot grow strawberries without spraying pesticides. So in United States, they had done a survey in supermarkets, and they found they made a list of dirty dozen, which has got the highest pesticide residue. And strawberry was on the top, which had the highest residue of pesticides. Of course, they call it still in permissible limit, but these ones are totally free. And the advantage of hybrid is that when you grow it hybrid, you enjoy the sunlight and you also supplement the grow lights. So you save on the energy, yet plant also enjoys some spectrum which is natural, which has got all the ingredients. Sometimes even today, there's a lot of research going on the grow lights. It is never ending because we want to reach close to the nature. So when you already have sunlight available, make use of it. Unless we go to say Scandinavia where we have maximum dark days, we can go with this system where we have 100% artificial grow lights. So this one also a project which we did in UAE, which is total on artificial grow light. It's 2-tier and it's on vertical farming. Coming back to industrial zone, in every urban city we have industrial MIDCs, like in Maharashtra, GIDC in Gujarat, we have every state some industry development corporations. So this is a garment factory in Gujarat. The father was having sari and dupatta being made there, and son wanted to do agriculture. So they came to us that we want to have it. I don't know why it is. So this is a 10,000 square feet farm in the heart of GIDC. You can see the red spot. These are the two greenhouses of 500 square feet. And here they were growing cherry tomatoes and herbs of different type, including basil, thyme. So this is a model which can be also applied in the urban fabric. Okay, I'll not take it long. This is strawberry which is growing in Ahmedabad GIDC, which was known for chemicals, highest pollution area. So there again, the son wanted to do some agriculture. So now they have decided to grow strawberries, and strawberries are flourishing in that zone. It's a pilot project, and soon it will be extended to a bigger size, scalable size. Yes, when we do this kind of indoor vertical farming, we have full control over the parameters. You might have seen during the deep winters, you get some sweeter strawberries. While the summer starts, the sweetness goes away. But when you do indoors, you have full control over all the parameters. So this strawberries, by the breeder, it was mentioned 7 to 9 bricks. That is the recommended bricks for that particular variety. But when we started growing them indoors, we managed to hit 15.2, but always got it about 12% bricks. So that is the beauty of indoor farming. And next is when you do indoor farming, the research can be very quick. Your observations are quick, and you can innovate new methods quickly, like you do in speed breeding and phytotrols. So here we have that in a regular process, and that's where our Center for Innovation is fully engaged in. We do various applied research, and we have developed various methods. In that, Revoponics is one of them. We have done IoT-enabled portable units, which are being deployed in global business centers of say Barclays Bank, which is got in Pune. We developed them and installed them so that they consume fresh leafy greens for their cafeterias. And of course, the Queen's University you already mentioned, they approached us for our technology, and we have now joined hands with them and conducting research on rivoponics, which has been already, they have declared that this is one of the most efficient growing system, even in Canada. And new commercial project is also on the way. Our first shipment has already reached there on top of what is there already in Queen's University. This is the Queen's University's phytotron facility where it's already functional. It's a hybrid glass house. And this is the portable IoT enabled units. So we have a target client here is those big corporate multinational companies. Like in Pune, we have Barclays where this was installed. And also we have in HSBC, which has got 9-floor building. So each floor in the reception, they opted for this system. So, and we have made them automated, and also AMC is with us so that we train them, they grow on their own and they consume. So this is a new model which is making sure that they get the fresh and healthy food just served at their cafeteria. And this is the model which we promote, and we want the youngsters to come and scale it up. We have the technology, we have the strength. You know, any given housing society in most of the cities will have minimum 150 to 300 apartments, and each apartment has got a balcony, and balcony has got potential to grow the leafy greens and even the cherry tomatoes, and even you can grow cucumbers, and you can have your own salad made at your own place. The challenges which they face is that they start very happily 1 month, 2 months, and then later on they lose the interest and it becomes a plastic scrap. So that's where we have come up with the AMC model where we install and we ensure that it is always green, and we train and we develop the leaders in every housing society who are more enthusiastic, and we develop that kind of team. And this is the model which is the future of urban horticulture. These are another portable models for the bungalows where you just keep it and forget it. For 30 days, you are not supposed to do anything after planting. Just after 25 to 30 days, come and start consuming. Need not to do anything. These are the HSBC staff, which is busy in planting by themselves. And of course, they reap the harvest also very happily. In the center is Mr. Rohan Sharma, who is working on this vertical of urban horticulture. This is the cafeteria of Park Place, where we have got Rivo grow boxes, what we call them. This is all automated, and it has got sensors for everything: temperature, humidity, CO2 level, EC, pH. And these are the mini phytotron stations too. Means for the research stations, this can be very handy because the phytotrons cost huge money, but we have this mini phytotrons which can have full control over the parameters. Thank you very much. This was the brief presentation I could give, and I'll be happy to have question answers if required. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen sir, for clearly explaining the scope of vertical farming and what are the opportunities, and providing the information like classification, what it means and how it works. Thanks for showing practically how your company implementing the vertical farming and the potentials of vertical farming. It's really nice to hear from you. For the participants, with any questions regarding the session, you can keep in chat box, and also you can raise your hands. So the questions will be taken up after the second presentation. So without delay, I would like to invite our second speaker. So to invite our second speaker, I would like to call our managing intern Gauri.
Thank you so much,
Gauri?
ma'am. Good morning to all. I'm Gauri Jaguri from Team Manage CIA. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Mr. Avnish Kumar Yadav, sir, a missionary leader and innovator in sustainable agriculture and hydroponics farming system. Mr. Yadav is a founder and CEO of Integrated Hydroponics India Private Limited in Hydro, an agri-tech company based in Noida that specialized in hydroponics, controlled environment agriculture, and advanced urban farming solution aimed at improving the way food is grown and distributed. Under his leadership in Hydro has been actively working on soilless cultivation system, vertical farming models, nutrient film techniques, greenhouse design, and resource efficient farming strategies. His work directly addressed key challenges such as water scarcity, limited urban lands, and the need for sustainable food system, making modern farming technology practical and sustainable for urban and peri-urban environments. Mr. Yadav is a widely followed and professional networks for his insight into hydroponics, agri-tech entrepreneurships, and data-driven approaches to sustainable farming, and he regularly shares his view on the future of urban agriculture in India. We are delighted to have him share his expertise on today's webinar topic. With this brief introduction of Sir, I now invite Sir to take the session forward. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you all of you to invite me in this type of webinar. And maybe this is the maybe first webinar what I'm attending for such type of sessions actually. And I start hydroponics farming in 2012 as a hobby, and I joined industry in 2019, and I'm a just beginner in industry. Like Praveen sir is having almost 40 year experience in this industry and making industry really sustainable and viable for the future. And I joined the industry recently. I tried to start some project in India, and till I'm running some 17-18 acre of hydroponics farm in Delhi NCR region, and most of farm are the urban farms. So our focus is technically to set up the urban farms to just fulfill the future food need, and definitely the future demand is little different from the past one. Now we are talking about the food sustainability as well as the food safety also. So the food safety is the future challenge what we are thinking. So we are looking for the fresh, clean, and definitely the residue-free food, or you can say the pesticide-free food. So in that construct, I'll discuss few things. Praveen sir already discussed a lot about the vertical farming and urban farming. So I'll try to discuss few things what remains, or maybe I'll continue. I think I need a second slide. Perfect. So I'll discuss the need of urban farming definitely. So today's the demand of food is totally changed. Due to the rapid urban population, definitely the earlier supply chain system, the long distance travel of the food to the cities, definitely a challenge, and post-harvest losses. That was the one of the major challenge what we face in India. Almost we say 45% food is wasted in this, definitely in phase of transit and transfer. Demand of these safe and clean food is rapidly increased because the post-COVID pandemic, everybody focus on the safe and clean food definitely. And the most important, the current climate change, or you can say the climate variability. Because of that, what happening? Our food system, the traditional food system, they affect a lot. Now we can say easily in a summer, winter, or sometime in those time where there's no prediction of rain or storm or hail, they are going on. A few days back in Delhi, there was a huge storm and hail was there that damaging the crops definitely outside. So the climate variability is affecting the crop or crop system or food system drastically. So definitely we have to enter into the climate control farming or sustainable farming, or maybe we can say the vertical or maybe the other methods we are adapting to make it sustainable and efficient. Can I go for next three? Okay, thank you. So technically, the urban farm system or vertical farming, what exactly they are? So in traditional farming system, we are utilizing the resources in very traditional manner, and now with the help of technology, resources, or maybe the uh, future tech enabled agriculture, we are utilizing those resources up to max. So technically, I say by utilizing those technology, now we are able to produce up to 10 to 15 times higher, from the similar space. So definitely that can be space utilized by the technology like hydroponics or aeroponics or aquaponics, whatever. We can increase the plant density in a similar way, as well as we can go vertically. So vertically we have no limitation, we can go up to sky. So there's no limitation to go vertically. So we are focusing on a vertical farming where we can grow all of our crop, maybe as Praveen sir told us, there can be horizontal, there can be vertical stacking, there can be multiple type of setup can be happen. This is technically engineering, how we are utilizing our space. So generally, in the vertical method, we are using NFTs, we are using the aeroponics, aquaponics, aero towers, or maybe other any type of engineering we can do it. So utilizing the vertical space is the major focus, and definitely in cities, not only the this we call the space, the availability of water, availability of definitely resources like electricity and all, they cost a lot. So everything costs a lot. So we have to utilize maximum efficiency in terms of space, in terms of other resources, that is water, environment, or anything. So by utilizing the definitely NFT or hydroponics method, we are saving almost 95% water, and water is the next big resource after the space, definitely in all urban or peri-urban areas. So there are many vertical model that we can deploy in the cities. So basically, I started from the very basic model, that is the rooftop vertical farms. So what I see in India or anywhere, there are huge rooftop space is vacant across the cities, and we start utilizing those rooftop spaces into the traditional or maybe conventional or maybe tech farming. So we start from the traditional farming, and then we convert into the with the sustainable greenhouse and everything, including the hydroponics and vertical farms. So we start from the rooftop, then definitely to have a total control over it, we have to go indoor also. So we went indoor, and we start growing in a warehouses, in a backend spaces of the industrial area, as well as the available space in home and offices. So we start indoor vertical farming. Container based farming is the next model, basically, in which we are developing. We develop the container that can enable with that all type of parameter control. So basically, the light, the humidity, temperature, and as well as water resource. So basically, efficient water resource systems like hydroponics or aeroponics. So the vertical, so maybe the container can be in the next future, definitely. Then a commercial greenhouses in urban area. What I'll tell you here. So we develop a lot of greenhouses. They are tech-enabled greenhouses, and in specifically urban area, generally in open field cultivation or similar simple traditional cultivation, we used to plant around 20-25,000 strawberry or broccoli in a 1 acre area. But by putting this type of greenhouse and this type of system, we enable up to 1.25 lakhs plant within a similar same area and a similar horizontal method. So the density, plant density, we increase 5 to 6 times from the traditional one. So definitely means it can reduce the 4-5 times required space from the traditional farming. So we develop a lot of greenhouses. As I told you, till now we are operating almost 18 acre in greenhouses. And the next level model is definitely community or maybe the institution. As Praveen sir told, there's a huge demand in the societies. So we start on a few farm, that is the community-led farm. We put these farm inside the society, and definitely then in a rooftop as well as the vacant area. So that can be a rooftop, balcony, walkways, or maybe any space, and any indoor space where we can put the setup or system. So technically, we design and develop the system as per the city need, as per the city spaces requirement. So we can deploy in any available space, and we can utilize the definitely space as well as the other resources. By having the hydroponics or maybe other technology, what we can have the maximum efficient use of all resources, including the water. Definitely the cost of electricity for the controlling the climate and all, so that we can control easily. And growing in cities or urban area, this is not only the business prospect, definitely is put a lot of impact on sustainability also. So by using such type of setups, we are definitely able to reduce the water consumption by 80 to 90%. And as previous already told, and everybody knows, in agriculture, we are using almost 70% of the fresh water that available on earth. And out of that, almost 90% water is wasted actually. The only 10 to 12% water is used by the plant. In circulation system or hydroponic system or precision irrigation systems, we are definitely using less than 90% water, and we are able to reuse and with a maximum efficiency. The water is the next big challenge. So water sustainability, and similarly, if you are growing the crop inside the city, then we are working huge on the environmental sustainability. So like reducing the carbon footprint, definitely. Increasing the air quality, means maintaining the air quality index in terms of increasing the CO2 and all. And but most important, the urban heat island effect. So when we put our system on a rooftop, we are able to manage 3-4 degree lesser temperature in the downside. So the requirement of energy to cooling down or maybe heating down, so HVAC control. So definitely if we're putting the urban farms on rooftop or in the urban areas, we are able to reduce the 2-3 degree temperature of the environment. So that definitely help us into heat and the carbon footprint, what we are carbon reduction, basically footprint reduction. And now what we are doing, we are integrating these system with the latest policy of the government. So basically the carbon crediting, so where farmer can definitely earn more money by integrating these hydroponics or maybe sustainable system in cities, so they can earn more money from the carbon crediting also. So till date, so say as we are the beginner in the industry, we have just completed 4-5 years. So we started as a grower, and now definitely we offer a lot of solution and services to the industry. So currently in hydro is enable our service to set up urban vertical farms as per their requirement. We are the one of the largest producer in India for the Dutch bucket and NFT hydroponics equipment. So we set up our own manufacturing units in India, and currently we are producing all hydroponics, because since hydroponics, when we talk about the hydroponics or sustainable farming, or when we deal with the water, we have to deal with the plastic, because for the transportation or maybe in hydroponics or all type of agriculture irrigation, we have to deal with the water and we have to deal with the pipes. So pipes, basically we have to deal with the plastic. So in hydro is one of the manufacturer in India who deals into 100% food safe plastic, that is the FDA approved, and we make all equipment that use in hydroponics in high density polyethylene material. So we set up the machinery, tools and everything to just start production in India. Apart from it, definitely we are into the rooftop and container farm setups. We are into the setup of large scale hydroponics, NFTs, Dutch bucket, and aeroponics farm setups in India. Technically, we are tying with a lot of corporates like Patanjali, JP, ITC, and all, and we are increasing our capacity to start production in a large scale in India. And our simple method, we learn we try, we implement, definitely we fails, and we improve system, and again we implement it. So that's what we are actually. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir, for clearly explaining the process of setting up urban farms, and thanks for highlighting the need for urban agriculture, especially the vertical farming in the context of rapid urbanization and the limited land availability and the growing demand for fresh produce. Your explanation on the different vertical farming models, along with the business strategies required to establish and sustain them, gave us valuable practical insights. Thank you once again for sharing your knowledge and guiding us on building resilient urban farming enterprises. So the participants, if you have any questions regarding these two sessions, you can keep in chat box and also you can raise your hands. So now it is open for the discussion. I'll take up what are the questions in the chat box. So there is a question from Bharat Kumar. Sir, what are the most viable business models for vertical farming in Indian cities, B2B, B2C, or institutional supply?
So,
Avnish sir or Praveen sir, anyone can take.
so basically, regarding this question, it totally depend upon how you are plan your business actually. Definitely, it will be help in both institutional as well as the retail supply. Depending upon your business model, how you are planning. If you are focusing on a horeca or maybe institutional one, then definitely you have to backward integration for the farm development or design. The institution and the horeca need a lot of produce at the same time. You have to increase the farm size, and by increase or maybe increasing the farm size totally depend upon the scale what exactly you are growing at. So if you are, so technically what we understand from the industry, if I am making a small farm within the cities or within the premises where I can easily make it in a retail model, then definitely the farm size will be smaller, but the multiple unit will be required because the retail model required multiple stuff at the same time. And similarly, in a wholesale model, the single crop is required in a huge quantity. So totally based on your business model, you are going for the retail or you are going for the institutional model. You have to backward integration for your farm basically. Either you are growing in a large scale or you are growing in a smaller scale but in multiple units. So technically this is the right way, and both are successful in India.
Yeah. Praveen sir, you want to tell anything?
Yeah, rightly explained. Good to see Avnish ji. I have always seen his social media post, and we are in some common groups. So thanks. I think it's Gauri madam who is trying to search guys like us and bring them here. So good to see you, Avnish ji, and very interesting presentation for the
Thank you,
newcomers.
sir, and definitely same here. I see
Uh,
a lot of work of yours in industry, and we are in a common group. So definitely, I know very well you are doing huge in a market,
Thank you so much. And Sharad ji's question is that what is there for the common person? So as I mentioned that we have a balcony model, and balcony model is, mostly you go to certain plant nurseries and see some model and you bring it and try to do it at your place. You enjoy it for few months and then it crashes because you lose maybe you're on tour and the plants get dried. So it is not a successful model once it is done in that fashion. But if you are a professional who want to invest in this field, so market is huge. And as I mentioned, in any given city, be it big cities or even the medium cities, you have the flat system and this kind of installation can be done, provided you have excellent hub and spoke model. You create a hub, means a place where you have plants, seedlings are being prepared, you have nutrients which are being made ready, and you have hardware installed in various balconies. And then you have training sessions in each housing societies. Try to bring up few leaders who can be your partners or channel partners, and they start attending to their neighboring flats it's a mission which somebody can do and make it a great success. Even they can collect it and also sell it to the nearby Zeptos and Zomatos, which are having their hubs in every vicinity these days. So there is a great potential. Some startups have to jump in. People like us are ready to mentor such startups to formulate. Even they can have one pilot in a like city like Pune or Mumbai or Jaipur or any city. So we can definitely help them. So that is the one method. Another is we have government which is promoting protected cultivation, greenhouse growing. A lot of subsidies, grants are being given. Startups are getting funding for that. So if you come with say 1,000 square meter greenhouse, it has got very good economics provided. You are good at marketing this typical leafy greens which are grown on this system. Leafy greens, this kind of things like lettuces and all that. We are almost how many participants here? Almost 25, 30. But if you ask yourself how many of you consume it every day, you will find that maybe none or maybe one or two who are going to Bhaji market and getting some lettuces for their home. So this is not something which is very common in our country. But yes, if you prepare ready salad boxes and ensure that is being delivered to people early in the morning along with the milk, and it is ready to eat, those things now we have health conscious societies which are growing up. So there is great potential, but yes, one has to have a great willpower to get into this business. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So someone has raised the hand. I'll unmute him. Nagarjun.
Yes, good morning, sir. Still, we are hearing about hydroponics are failing in India and out of the world. Why? Because there is a technical gap between technical lack of knowledge and some other issues, heavy maintenance issues also. There are very few people like Praveen sir and Avnish sir in India to lead this industry successfully. My question is, we are using very costly nutrients in AAB farms, but these are all not from dosing tank to plant. It is not reaching. Why? Because of biofilm CAC, cation exchange capacity. It is acts like a calcium. It causes a blossom end rot and tip burn in the leafy greens. Blossom end rot is the bell pepper issues. We are using like conventional chemicals like hydrogen peroxide and other like some other products. It is not resolving that biofilm CEC issues. Due to biofilm CEC act as a sponge to capture the theft the cations like calcium, magnesium, potassium. It is not reaching to plant. We are dosing successfully, but it is not reaching plant. It is a maintenance issue. And one more is, sir, very big farms using AI integrated dosing system in the by using sensors like EC sensor, DO sensor, some other pH sensors. It is for in big farms, the lines are in meters to kilometers. For 1 month or 2 months later, it forms a layer on the sensors. It causes ghost EC. The dosing tank releases, but it gives the AI system wrong results. That's why too much maintenance cost due to high costly nutrients. My question is, how to control biofilm CEC and ghost EC? One more thing, sir, VPD and PPFD and DRL. There are so many parameters in hydroponics, but now I am asking these two only: biofilm CEC and ghost EC. How can we control?
You want me to answer, Ravnesh?
Yes.
Yeah, sir, please.
First of all, the question asked by you are real in-depth technical question, and which makes us to understand that you are someone who is dealing it day to day and facing these challenges. And yes, there are protocols which one has to follow once we set up any hydroponic setup, where you have routine flushing treatments in between so that you don't allow those deposits to take place around. And when it comes to the nutrient uptake, yes, that is where the expertise comes into play. And you have to ensure that, like a musician plays Sare Gama, he knows when to take the pitch up and when to take it down. So when you're operating and managing the plant, you have to be like a musician who knows all the major micro secondary nutrients well and what ratios are being fed and how plant is behaving. This is one of the reasons, like in US, most of the big farms, they more dependent on AI and automation, and they thought that now things will happen on their own, but the agronomists with experience were missing there. So, like you cannot have a patient treated by AI and robotics. An expert doctor has to be around. We are dealing with a biological product, so you have to feel the pulse of the crop, and there has to be a routine scouting by an expert. That's when this can be done. Of course, in leafy greens, as I was shown that we have Barclays, HSBCs, staff is managing, and they don't need to spend too much of time in doing finding technology. They are given the protocols, they follow it, and the crop comes to them in 25 days. They harvest again, replant, put the seeds, get it germinated, and they are raw people. They don't know anything about agriculture sciences, but they have been told that this is what you are supposed to do, and they do it, and they get the production. So thanks to the protocols which have been derived, so these problems can be solved. And in your case also, if you have these methods followed strictly, uh, you should not have any problem. Thank you. If I hope I have answered you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So I'll take up one more question. Sanika, sir, what will be the lump sum amount of initial investment for starting a rivoponics pilot project in half-acre land?
See, these projects, our firm is promoting a lot in North America and also in Middle East. In India, we don't encourage people to jump in, but if we have strong desire that no, I will be able to do it, why not? We do support. And the category of investment starts from 1.65 CR for 1,000 square meter to as high as 7 to 8 CR for an acre. And of course, there is a very good revenue model. Production is very well guaranteed that this is what you will harvest. The beauty comes in when you get the harvest, how you convert it into money. Because the products which are grown on these systems, of course, leave apart strawberries, but even all the leafy greens. You have leafy green coming from a even open field farmer in the regular market. So you have to compete with someone who is growing in open field somewhere, because consumers, they just look at the product. To prove it that it is free from pesticide, it's a premium, you have to take some special efforts. So this is not the product which you can sell in a local mandi. You have to develop very good market channels and ensure that it is categorized in a premium segment. So once you do that, yes, 52 weeks proven production you will get, and your ROI can be just maximum 3 years, you get your money back. Just to give you a basic calculation, recently we have got a model which is called RGT 174. So in 1,000 square meter, you can have 600 of them, RGT 174. And each RGT has got 174 plants. So how many plants in 1,000 square meter? We get more than 100,000 plants in 1,000 square meter. And the production of lettuce head is 25 days to 30 days. Even if you take smallest of say 100 grams, still every month you'll harvest 17 kilo of lettuce from a given tower. A kilo is 250 rupees a kilo. That's the wholesale price. So with that also, if you calculate, your money will be back to you in 3 to 3.5 years. But to sell it in the given market, and if you make salad boxes, you can fetch even 500 or 600 rupees a kilo. These are the missions somebody has to take in. Yes, definitely it can be done, but I don't encourage, because I got some failures where the growth was there, production was there, but the they lost interest in marketing, because marketing of this exotic greens in our country is still not a cakewalk. You have to really uh, really try hard. Avnesh ji, you would like to add something on that?
Sure, definitely. So, जो मेरा experience रहा है, I'll speak actually. So technically, making a half-acre farm in India, especially city to maybe Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, or Hyderabad, or maybe Delhi, right? Traditional NFT system will cost you around 1 CR to 1.5 CR. What happened with the people? The cost can be reduced or increased basically depending upon what type of tool, technology, and equipment you are going to introduce. As in last question, somebody asked for this AI and instrumentation and all. So basically, those system, the sensors, the instrumentation, and everything, they are there in a farm to help us to make the decision. They cannot take the decision. They can give us the appropriate value. What is the pH value? What is the EC value? And how plant is reacting for it? Or maybe what is the temperature? What is the humidity? What is the BPD? Everything we can have the idea, and based on those data, we can make our decision actually. Similarly, in India, specifically talk about the hydroponics farm, we have to survey the market first. And once you see the market inputs, basically, as sir told, at 250 rupees kg per kg, if we are able to sell the lettuce in India, then definitely we can able to produce at the rate of 60 rupees kg. If we are able to sell at 100 rupees kg, then we have to produce at 35 rupees kg. So there are a lot of tools and technology they can help you to reduce the cost or maybe increase the cost depending upon your cycle and what type of ease of operation you want in your system. So few company they make a half-acre farm in a 50 lakh rupees, few they make in a 1.2 CR, few company 3.5 CR. जो ये cost variation हुआ from 50 lakhs to 3.5 CR is totally risk mitigation, means ensuring your operations or easiness of operations. तो बहुत सिंपल बोलता हूँ, when I have a pre-buyer that are ready to buy my produce a fixed cost around the year, मैं बैकवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन करता हूँ फार्म डिजाइन के लिए कि इस बायर के लिए फार्म की कॉस्ट क्या होनी चाहिए, एज सिंपल. Or when I'm a beginner, so I'll tell you, people used to say कि 3 year, 2 year, 5 year में ROI आ जाएगा इंडिया में. My farm, it means my 10th farm can get the ROI in a 1.5 year. लेकिन मेरा पहला farm जो है that will give me the ROI period approx 3.5 to 5 year. The difference between the first and 10th farm, in first farm we have to make sure about the all production operations, सारे parameter, as well as the marketing. In 10th farm we have a pre-order. Everything is already set in the market. We are focusing and working on the optimization of the crop production only. तो जब पहले से मेरे पास ऑर्डर है, पहले से मेरे पास मार्केटिंग चैनल है, तो मैं सिर्फ एक ही फोकस करूंगा कि कितना कॉस्ट ऑप्टिमाइज कर सकता हूं प्रोडक्शन का और कितना ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीज कर सकता हूं और इंश्योर कर सकता हूं. So by putting 25 lakh rupees additional tool and equipment in a farm, definitely capital cost increase करेगा. By putting another maybe half acre के लिए we need almost 100 kilowatt of electricity. So by putting additional 100 kilowatt, 200 kilowatt solar power system will increase the capital cost. तो वो 1 CR से directly 2.5 CR पहुंच गया. Just. But why we are doing that? Because we want to optimize the cost. तो फार्म का स्टैंडर्ड कैलकुलेशन करना कि व्हाट इज द कॉस्ट, ये टोटली डिपेंड करता है व्हाट इज योर रिक्वायरमेंट. दैट्स ऑल व्हाट आई कैन ऐड हियर.
Thank you, sir. So one last question I'll take from Shalini. Since it's soilless, how do we ensure that the plants get essential nutrition? How do we provide it completely organic?
वेरी बेसिक क्वेश्चन सर, मैं टिक ले लेता हूँ. सो कई सारे मिथ मिलने वाले हैं. बेसिकली मैं थोड़ा सा जो मेरे को नॉलेज है मैं डिस्कस कर लेता हूँ. सो टेक्निकली प्लांट ग्रोइंग के लिए व्हाट यू रिक्वायर्स, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सनलाइट डेफिनेटली, सेकेंड इज वाटर एंड न्यूट्रिएंट, देन ऑक्सीजन, CO2, है ना, एंड डेफिनेटली एक सुटेबल क्लाइमेट. ये 5-6 पैरामीटर हैं टू एश्योर कि सॉइल है, सॉइललेस है. तो सॉइल का पर्पस इन टर्म्स ऑफ ग्रोइंग, व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू से, ओनली 2 पर्पसेस मेजर हैं. वन इज द सोर्स ऑफ मिनरल एंड सेकेंड इज डेफिनेटली सपोर्ट, प्लांट सपोर्ट सिस्टम. प्लांट की रूट जोन को सपोर्ट करने में हेल्प कर सकता है, और डेफिनेटली सोर्स ऑफ मिनरल्स है. व्हेन वी इरिगेट or we put the water in soil, those minerals just dissolve in the water and available for the plant. तो बहुत बेसिक फंडामेंटल रूल है. इफ वी आर रिमूविंग द सॉइल तो मीन्स वी आर नॉट रिमूविंग द न्यूट्रिएंट सिस्टम, बिकॉज दैट इज द बेसिक नीड ऑफ प्लांट. वी आर सप्लीमेंटिंग द न्यूट्रिएंट विद द अदर टेक्नोलॉजी. कॉन्सेप्ट वही है, टेक्नोलॉजी वही है, इंप्लीमेंटेशन का इंजीनियरिंग केवल चेंज हो गया. व्हाट वी यूज टू से फॉर द हाइड्रोपोनिक्स, हाइड्रोपोनिक्स नथिंग इज वन ऑफ द मेथड ऑफ इरिगेशन टू प्लांट ओनली. इरिगेशन और फर्टिगेशन से ऊपर कुछ भी नहीं है हाइड्रोपोनिक्स. बस क्या है, बैलेंस, कैलकुलेटेड एज पर द प्लांट रिक्वायरमेंट, मिनरल को बेट करके बैलेंस करके प्लांट को फीड कर दिया. दैट सिंपल वे. तो सॉइललेस टेक्नोलॉजी में यही होने वाला है. जो सॉइल में हो रहा था वही इसमें होगा, बट मोर बैलेंस, मोर कंट्रोल्ड. और वी हैव द कंट्रोल ओवर दोज पैरामीटर जो पैरामीटर अभी हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं है. इन जो ट्रेडिशनल फार्मिंग सिस्टम है वो ज्यादा कंट्रोल हो गए बाय पुटिंग द सम प्रिसिशन इंजीनियरिंग एप्लीकेशंस. इतना ही है. न्यूट्रिएंट अगर बहुत सिंपल है, if a plant is growing in a soil where the deficiency of nutrient is there, तो आप उसका जब एनालिसिस करोगे तो उसके प्रोडक्ट में भी डिफिशियंसी होगी इन टर्म्स ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट. और अगर उसी सॉइल में बहुत हैवी इन all required mineral is available, then प्लांट की परफॉर्मेंस एंड न्यूट्रिशन वैल्यू डेफिनेटली उससे डिफरेंट होगी, जो बहुत अच्छी होगी. इन हाइड्रोपोनिक्स और सच टेक्नोलॉजी वी इंश्योर दैट कि वो ऑलवेज अवेलेबल रहे, द बेस्ट प्रोपोजिशन ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट प्लांट को मिलता रहे. दैट्स ऑल.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Please, sir.
प्लीज.
So this debate is always on. And if you look at the United States, hydroponic falls under the organic category. Second is when we call it anything organic, organically grown means we use all the bioproducts to ensure that the pest disease are controlled. Also, we use manure and vermicompost and many other things to feed the crop. And they are grown open field. There is a dust flowing around. There is a lot of challenge which you get when you grow in inside. You save it from all those external elements, and then you use groundwater. Sometimes groundwater has got contamination. So to grow purely organic is not that easy. Here in hydroponics, we ensure that sanitization is at the highest level. Even most of the cases, people use even RO water because they have high TDS borewell water. So there is a new classification, we call it. It's not organic. Hydroponics is not organic. It's beyond organic. So on our most of the product boxes, we write it beyond organic. We don't want to call ourselves organic. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So it's 12 o'clock. We shall end the session now. So thank you, participants, for all your questions. So still, if you have any questions regarding this session, you can contact the speakers. The speaker details are given in the chat box. And also, if you want to watch this webinar again, the YouTube link to watch the full session is also given in the chat box. And also, to stay updated on upcoming events and programs and exciting opportunities from Managed Incubation Center, be sure to follow us on our social media handles. Along with this, as we have launched the Managed Fish Hub Incubation Center. So with this Managed Fish Hub, we are opening doors to the various programs from business incubation and expert mentorship to funding access. So I would like to highlight few programs from Managed Fish Hub Incubation. The one program is that the Fisheries Startup and Aquapreneurship Stakeholder Meet, so which aims to bring together all the key stakeholders of India's fisheries and aquaculture ecosystem on a single collaborative platform. So actually it provides startups with the opportunity to showcase their innovation, and they can connect with the partners, and also they can learn from the successful ventures. So we are organizing this program at Chaudhary Charan Singh Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar, Haryana on Feb 16th. And also along with this, we are organizing the RKVY program, which is the entrepreneurship program for fishery students, and also Aqua Udyami, which is the EDP for youth fishermen and fish entrepreneurs in Haryana. So for more details where and when we are organizing this program, kindly check our social media handles. So that's all for today. So before concluding the session, I would like to thank both Praveen sir and Amina sir for sharing your valuable insights today. It's really a pleasure to have you here, sir. And also, I would like to thank Dr. Sarunandra sir for organizing this webinar, and also my thanks go to entire Manasia team for their efforts in organizing today's webinar. Finally, don't forget to give the feedback of this webinar. The feedback link is given in the chat box, and also do register for the upcoming webinar. We'll see you next week with another exciting topic. Until then, bye. Thank you, Avinash sir, and thank you, Praveen sir. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Manoj, and carry on your great work. You're doing great job for the country. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, participants.